Hey, what's going on there, guys? I just wanted to touch base and ask you a question. What do you think about relationships? The type of relationships that you're in right now or that you want to have? The questions that I have are like, what kind of relationship do you have with yourself? And what kind of relationship do you have with your family or friends or with God? What type of relationships do you have with your coworkers or even with your community? Like maybe at the store, you go to a local store often and you have certain types of relationships with certain people. What does that look like? And what would it look like to have a great relationship with each of them individually? Would it be different or would you be able to be the same the whole time? I believe that we have to kind of adapt from person to person because everyone's going through their own things. But you should be the type of person that is able to have good relationships because you have a good relationship with yourself. I think it does start with yourself, and ultimately, if you know who you are and do self inventory, you can be okay with the things that aren't that great about yourself because you talk to yourself and say, hey, I'm not nailing this. This isn't perfect. You understand yourself. You're not condemning yourself for some of the things that are in your past, and you're looking towards the future a lot of times. And when you have a relationship with yourself that is has integrity, you hold yourself to a standard, you have your own boundaries, you say yes and no when you're supposed to for yourself. Again, that's not being perfect at it, but at least coming back to yourself and saying, self-inventory, did I hit this? Did I do that? Yes, I did. I check marked that one. And that feels great too when you get to check mark those areas of your own life and say, you did it, man. You stepped up to it. But then it goes into these relationships with your family and your friends, and what type of a relationship are we holding or are we leading? Are we the type of people that reaches out to somebody and says, hey, I was just thinking about you. How are you? What's going on with you? How's work going? How's your fitness going? How's your relationships going? This is what makes a good friend, and this is what builds relationships. If I ask you how you're doing, then you've got somebody who can hold you accountable when things aren't going very good, or somebody to lean on when you need it, or somebody to high five you, even for that matter, when you need a good high five from somebody. When you're looking around and saying, man, I did it, but I don't see much reward. A good relationship or somebody who's good at relationships is going to come up and say, great job, pat on the back, and what's next? So I just wanted to see where you're at with your relationships. Do you hold yourself to a high standard in relationships? Were you taught to have good relationships by your parents or somebody else? If not, understand that you can take a stand, and especially going to God. God who created us, God who breathed life into us, he wants to have a good relationship with you. And all you have to do is talk to him. He's constantly trying to talk to us through people and through certain situations, trying to lead us through his Holy Spirit. And the hardest part of a relationship is listening, especially to God, because we have to give intention to God. And a lot of times we give intention and attention to so many distractions and things that are trying to mold us or pull us into a different situation. I think, especially in our culture, we are attracted to shiny objects. I know I am, look, right? Attracted to shiny objects. And if we find ourselves distracted and feeling lost and lonely because we've broken the relationship that we're supposed to have with ourselves and with God, and it's really easy to have a relationship with God if you just pause and realize that you are God, you are the creator, and I get fueled up and filled up from you. And then when I know who I am because of whose I am, man, I feel like I have purpose in this life, and I can go forth and have great relationships with people around me, whether it be wife, kids, friends, and community. So I encourage you guys to just try to look at how you're having relationships and who you're having relationships with. And if they're going well, even ask some questions to people in your life and say, what are some things that I could work on in our relationship? Or what are some of the things that you really love about our relationship? And, without, trying to defend yourself if something doesn't seem to align with what you want, without defending yourself, just take inventory on it. If you ask several people and one thing keeps popping up, that might be the thing that you need to work on. And I just encourage you guys, know yourself, know God, and get out there and know people, because the more people that you pour into, the more purpose and fulfillment that you'll have in your life. So I encourage you to have some awesome relationships with yourself, God, people around you. God bless.